soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. Generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. 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 You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Later.
Okay, so I just got back from the gym. You guys saw some of my like the highlights of my workout. I was there for freaking 3 hours. It's just this, the volumes I have to do to overreach are oppressive. I had to do 10 sets of squat, 5 sets of deadlifts, 3 sets of leg curls, 5 sets of biceps, and whatever. I'm barely alive right now. I'm exhausted. But yeah, it's been a long day. I went to the grocery store to grab food after, so I'll show you guys what I got, because people seem to be interested in what I eat. Okay, so I didn't get that much, but this is kind of like staples, some of the things that I do eat. I eat a ton of rice cakes just because they're really easy to digest and whatever. I'll put on like Walden Farms or like PB2 or like peanut butter, whatever I want. Almond milk, because protein shakes taste better with it. Spinach, because I don't want to die. Also strawberries, because fruit is good for you. Fructose is fine, it won't make you fat, control calories. Diet soda, aspartame is fine for you. You're not going to die eating artificial sweeteners. Pumpkin puree, I actually use this with like baking with like protein cookies and stuff like that. And then Greek yogurt, because Greek yogurt is awesome. I put like some 0-calorie sweetener and like make like a yogurt bowl with that. But yeah, that's what I got. Right now I'm going to do some work. I have to do some client stuff, finalize a few things, and then I have a final I'm taking tomorrow for one of my classes, so I need to study for that and whatnot. But yeah, that's the update.
The next day.
Sydney.
I look disgusting with braces.
No, show the camera, smile. How does your mouth feel?
It feels like I can't close it, and when I try to eat corn, it did not happen.
Yeah.
But I got a Ben and Jerry's from the orthodontist.
Like a full pint?
A full pint.
What the heck? What flavor did you get?
Well, he just came out with one. It was cookie dough.
Did you know that meant that Ben & Jerry's actually was the one that invented cookie dough? Really? Yep,
No,
they invented the cookie dough ice cream.
Are you serious?
I know my ice cream. I don't mess around.
Second rashes at him. All in my back.
He had too much fun in bed.
What do you mean by that?
He was with Dominic.
That's not true. I'm not kidding.
Trust
me, I'm not kidding.
You sure about that?
Quiet.
Quiet. Quiet. Where mom and dad?
Mom is in the bathroom.
Dad
Dad is
is-
getting his haircut.
Yeah.
I need a haircut.
Can I wax your eyebrows? Because you kind of need them done. Or what if I give you eyelash extensions or acrylics?
I don't want to do it.
What
Nah.
Are you sure?
Do you want me to be a drag queen?
Yes! Wait, can I actually?
No. So it is the next day. I just did a back workout. I didn't really film it or much of anything because I'm super exhausted. I just wanted to go in and get it done and just focus on it. But I took my final this morning for my class. It was like just all essay questions, but took freaking forever because it was 4 of them, and so it was basically like 3,000 words I had to type out. I'm actually checking to see if I got it graded yet. I don't know, because sometimes she grades really fast. Other times she doesn't. Well, this is some cool lighting. Anyways, yeah, but like that's the current update. Let me see if I'm logging into my student account right now because I don't know if she graded or not. Looks like she hasn't graded yet, but yeah, I'm not too concerned. But yeah, basically, that's the update. Hey guys, so I wanted to kind of go over how it is that I progressed throughout my mesocycle, just using day 1 of my push session that I did for this training cycle, and kind of just show you how I choose certain weights, why I choose certain weights and whatnot. So I'm not going to show my whole entire program just because my coach is the owner of it, and I don't really want to be disrespectful, but I'm just going to show this day 1 because I already shared it on my Instagram. But basically, so with week 1, this is the most important week of training to start from. And what I mean by that is that it establishes a minimum baseline of effort to use while you are training, because week 1 of your training cycle should be around RPE 6 to 7 in order to be stimulative enough of growth. And for myself, because I'm very aware of what weights kind of are in that area / range, on different exercises, just because I've been training for more than 6 months. This is my 3rd year of training. I know more or less around where my loads are going to be. If you don't know exactly where to start out, you can always use like a 1 rep max percentage calculator thing, but really it just is RPE, and like reps in reserve is like a feeling, and you kind of will get used to it over time. I'll talk a little bit later on in some future videos about how I personally gauge it, like little cues that you can use for reps in reserve / RPE. But anyways, you can kind of see here. So for week 1 on my 2x6, I had RPE 7 and goal of intensity. And what I did is I got 250 pounds and I got 2 sets of 6. Then I dropped down about 10% of that for my down sets for a 3x8, and I was able to get 225 for 3 sets of 8. You see a dumbbell overhead press, RPE 6 goal. For reps in reserve, I got 60s for 3 sets of 10. Then easy bar skull crushers, RPE 7, 3 sets of 10. I got 80 for 11, 10, 10, 10. And then for incline dumbbell chest flies, I got 30s for 2 sets of 12. Now, Jagger gives me these rep goals, and I kind of use these as more or less like around where it should be. In hypertrophy, it's less important to be like exactly on the ball with like a certain rep range. Like as long as I'm like around that area, like 10 to 12 or whatever, like I know that that's fine. With strength, if I was to have this happen, it's like 11, well, I would absolutely bump up the weight, because I want to hit a certain target intensity. But going from here, you can kind of see. So next week was the RPE 7 goal as well. So basically, that means just a slight increase in weight. But as a general rule of thumb, when you're increasing weight week to week, there's a very, very simple way to do it, because a lot of times it's easy to overcomplicate reps in reserve and on RPE. What you can simply do is, if you're in hypertrophy, you have the choice to either add reps or load to get your proximity to failure or overload, because volume is a primary driver of hypertrophy. As long as you have enough volume with sufficient tension, basically meaning load on the bar, you will grow, but there has to be enough volume. So you can either add reps, add a set, or add load onto the bar. And what you can see that I did here is I increased it by 10 pounds at 260, and then I lowered it down to 250 because the RPE goal was 7. If I was still go for like an 8, I probably would have just done another set with 260. But because the RPE goal was 7, I didn't do that. Likewise, on my other sets, I added 5 pounds, and I hit basically the exact same as I did for last week with the 225. But because of fatigue built up, I only got 7 on the last set, and that's just because of fatigue that happens across the training session. Substrates get depleted, nervous system fatigue kicks in, etc. There's a multitude of factors. Basically, you get tired is what happens. And then I just, intensity did go up a fair amount on overhead press. Overhead press is one of those moves that I just suck with. So this is what I did. But what you can see here, how I progressed is I either will match reps and add load as a minimum, or I will match load and add reps to my sets as the weeks will go on. Or if I'm feeling really, really good on some day, and if I can do it, I will increase both load and add a rep onto the sets and reps that I am doing. And the way that I program for myself and most of my clients is I will increase volume with sets too, week to week, as long as they're recovered. It's not necessary, but I found that this is how I personally do like to train. And this is just how I personally do it. But going back to this, you can see that I basically either will match my reps for last week and add load, or I will usually keep the load the exact same, and then I try to add a rep within a certain target rep range. As long as my reps don't dip below 5, I'm okay with that with these sets. Let's see. But yeah, with progression, the key thing is it's much better to undershoot than overshoot your RPEs and your intensities, just because you need to make sure that you are actually able to overload next week. If there's one week that you can kind of be a lot more aggressive with things, then that will be on the week 4, right before you're supposed to deload, or like you're overreaching week. Then you can be as aggressive and kind of just send it as you want, but you want to make sure that you leave room for progression. That's what's most important. So you can kind of see, here, you guys can look at this if you want to take a screenshot of how I progressed. But even I want to make it really clear that this set progression is not necessary. it's just what I do, because for myself, I found that it works well. There will also be other times when I will just keep sets the exact same, because basically weeks 2 and 3 are like the sweet spot. So like if I was to outline this using like the Mike Israetel like theories of MEV, so minimum effective volumes, maximum adaptive volumes, maximum recoverable volume. Week 1 would be minimum effective for me. Weeks 2 and 3 would be maximum adaptive volumes, and then week 4 would be MRV or slightly above to have an overreaching effect. And then deload week would basically be maintenance volume, just so I don't lose any gains or adaptations, and allows my body to recover, because it's maintenance volume, and by definition you're just maintaining gains and you're allowing for full recovery to take place. But if you wanted to do a alternatively, if you were to just say, okay, like this set progression thing is just not what I liked. It's not it's not practical for my lifestyle. I can't do it with, like, one of the big drawbacks of this whole approach is that, like, when you get to like weeks 3 and 4, like, you're spending like 2 or 3 hours in the gym, and if you don't have the time, or if you have, you're constrained, there's no reason to. And honestly, this isn't necessary until you really get into like the more intermediate / advanced stage. I would think to even consider adding in sets as you do go along. If you wanted to keep it around, this range of sets each week, and just progress with RPE as the weeks go along, that's also an okay way to program, because it really does average out over the mesocycle. This is just, like I said, what I like and what I found I adapt best to with my personal experience. I have clients that react a lot better to a static volume approach and just increasing intensity as the weeks will go along. But yeah, I wanted to add this ramble because I get some questions about how I progress throughout my mesocycles, how I know what load to add, and how I kind of structure it. Next week is a deload week, so it says in 70% intensity. So what I'll basically do is I will take what I did for this week, so 70% of 270, and then just do that for a 2x6 and whatever, and it'll be really, really easy and allow me to recover. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to cover here.